It is like so warm out, 70 something degrees. I have no idea why I'm not outside. I mean, no, I'm not really the type of person to go outside because I'll burn. And I'd rather not make this video outside because people would see me doing this, and ranting about One Direction in public is something I do not want to do right now. So anyway, hey guys, in today's video, I'm just gonna talk about recent things in Harry's interviews and Louis and Eleanor, unfortunately. So here's the latest news that's been happening in the past couple days. So basically for the past few videos, I've been talking about Harry and his interviews and everything he said in them. But Harry has had more phone interviews since then, and there's more things he said that's important. So first, Harry talked about the inspiration behind Sign of the Times. He says, like I said, I don't think I'd ever, say exactly what it's all about. I think for each person, to kind of take away what they get from something like that is more important. But I think Sign of the Times is probably the most literal song on the album. I think it's just a view, kind of a lot of things that go on. First of all, wow. I like how Harry can be so vague, but it can make sense at the same time. Like, Harry could say something that makes absolutely no sense, but I'd just be like, oh my god, that makes so much sense, because Harry said it. It's like the way he says stuff, it's art. Harry basically said the point of this new album was to be open with everybody and to be honest, so I swear, there probably will be a coming out song, right? At least I'm hoping. Harry also says, I think that's fun though, people putting too much thought into the cover. I like when people do that. And also Louis said, the fans put the pieces together. So now we have both Louis and Harry admitting that they know what's going on. They know what we do, they see what we do. Louis knows we put the pieces together, and Harry admits that he loves when we do that. And to be honest guys, Harry also said that he doesn't mind when we speculate. We're allowed to think whatever we want. It's left open to interpretation. So guess what? If we want to make it about Larry, we can, because Harry says we can. So antis, don't come at us. Harry says the album will be out soonish. I didn't want to leave a long gap. It will be out relatively soon. Okay, Harry, define relatively soon, because that could mean next week, but that could also mean 2 months from now. I need to be prepared. Do I need to reschedule all my plans in the future? Oh wait, just kidding, I have no plans. I need to know these things so I can be mentally prepared. Harry also said we were living together with the guys I wrote it with in Jamaica. And it says grammatically, it should be like, I was living with the guys I wrote it with in Jamaica. Who is this we? Did you guys even notice that? Because I didn't. Harry said we specifically, and also if you guys listen to the song Sign of the Times, he says we as well. Like, yeah, who is this we? Grammatically, he should have said I if it was just him with his band. Because he said we were staying with the band, so it's Harry and somebody else with his band. I thought it was just Harry. And does this remind you guys of this? Louis said sometimes Liam would stay with us, actually a lot of the time. Louis, who is this us? The fact that Louis and Harry are using words like us and we to describe what they do. So yeah, the pieces are coming together. This says the talk of the bullets and running from them evokes the same images seen right after the horrific event. Here, Harry uses the word we when asking, why are we always stuck in running from the bullets? So if the interpretation is correct, is Harry Styles gay and counting himself as one of the members of the LGBT community who face harassment, discrimination, and violence just because of who they love? Yeah, so there's also been a lot of speculation that Harry's song could actually be like an LGBT anthem. But seriously, I really want to know why Harry chose we specifically. Is he using we like as a general statement, or is he specifically talking about him and someone else? This also says he's written so many songs over the past few years and he didn't use any of them for the album because he only wanted to use his most recent stuff except for this one song. Why this one song? Why did he hold on to it for 3 years? What is it about this song that made him come back to it 3 years later and decide he needed to include it? It must be fucking epic. Yeah, so if you don't know what this person's talking about, Harry specifically said in an interview that all of the songs on the album he recently wrote last year, but there's 1 or 2 songs on the album that he wrote 3 years ago, and he decided to put it on the album. So for him to mix those 2 old songs with the recent, they must be pretty good. And I'm still wondering if it's gonna be the song Don't Let Me Go that he wrote 3 years ago. And also when talking about Dunkirk, Harry said it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time. It was good. It was obviously so different to doing music. It was challenging. It was a lot of fun. I had a really good time and I'm excited to see it. It was an amazing project, so I felt very lucky to be a part of it and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think hopefully it will be good. And also guys, when Harry was talking about Dunkirk, he referred to the guys on set as dishy. So when talking about Dunkirk, Harry said there's a lot of dishy fellows in there. Dishy means very sexually attractive and desirable, yet troubling for reasons hard to explain. I also looked up the definition on Google, and every definition of dishy came up to sexually attractive. So no, it doesn't mean Harry's gay for saying that some men are sexually attractive on set, but he didn't have to say that either. He just outright said like, yeah, the fellows on set are really dishy. I don't care if you guys think Harry's gay, I don't care if you think we shouldn't be speculating it, but all the signs are pointing towards him not being straight. Harry also said that he has a release date for his album, but he didn't tell us the specific date because Harry keeps everything vague. So he says, I do have a date, yeah. Can't tell you too much, but it will be soon. I'm sure you weren't expecting that answer. Actually, Harry, I was expecting that answer because you keep everything vague. You don't tell us anything. So yeah, define soon. Again, I need to be prepared. Like, listen, Harry, if you're going to choose to tell people that there will be an album release date, then go into more detail. You can't just drop the bomb on us and be like, yep, there will be an album release date pretty soon, and not tell us the date or like a general time it might be released, because that is a tease. Also, in one of Harry's interviews, he mentioned the boys. So Harry said, of course I miss them, of course, but we keep in touch and I've seen them. It's fun. Everyone's having a good time trying new things, doing their own thing, writing. Everyone's doing really well. Obviously, Niall and everyone's put out music and stuff, and it's going great. It's been really nice. I think it was a good time for us all to kind of take a second. So that's good and all. I'm glad all the boys are doing well. I'm glad Harry is still talking to the boys, but there's one thing that stood out that everybody was talking about. So going back to this sentence, Harry said obviously Niall and then he says everyone's put out music and stuff, blah blah blah. Basically, the only people who have put out music in One Direction aside from Zayn is Niall and Louis. So the fact that he said Niall and pause everyone, he didn't say Louis's name. Like, I'm not saying this is like a huge deal, but just the fact that Harry feels like he can't say Louis's name, like, I don't know why he did that, I'm just guessing, but it's kind of sad. This person says that Niall and everyone actually makes me sad. It was literally just Niall and Louis, so if you mentioned one by name, it would make sense to name the other. The fact that he doesn't is so telling, because it's clear that for years he was told not to mention Louis, and now he still catches himself because it's very ingrained in him. If everything was as they say it is, it would be no problem to mention Louis, but still everything regarding the two is always different. Isn't that curious? He literally said everyone just to avoid saying Louis, because that is what has been ingrained into him. There have been people on Twitter who told me the reason why Harry didn't say Louis's name is because us Larrys would take that as Larry proof and like, yeah, make it about Larry. I understand that some Larrys are gonna do that, but not me. A lot of us would not make that about Larry. Just because Harry says Louis's name in an interview, like, I wouldn't make that about Larry. I'd just be like, okay, Harry's saying Louis's name, great. Everything's good between them. But this person made a very good point. It seems like everything between Harry and Louis, it's always different than Harry and the other boys or Louis and the other boys. If they wanted to make it look like Harry and Louis were just friends and they were the same as the other boys, Harry would just say Louis's name with no problem, because Niall is Harry's friend. That's why he said Niall. And if Louis was just Harry's friend, he would say his name. But the fact that he completely was like Niall and everyone and does a weird pause, it's like you can't even say his name. No one can convince me that Harry and Louis have the same friendship as the other boys. No, Louis and Harry are so different than the other boys. They are treated different, they act different. There's always been a difference between those two and the way they act with the other boys, and no one can convince me otherwise. And this situation just proves it even further. How come in interviews Niall can make a joke about having a bromance with Liam and everybody laughs, but when it comes to Larry, it's like we can't make that a bromance or anything. I know this isn't the point of this video, but if Larry was just a bromance, it would be treated like the other bromances in One Direction. It would be treated like Niam or Ziam or whatever, but it's not. So there you go. And that's why I do not ship Larry as a bromance. But then again, it seems like all is good between Harry and the other boys, and that includes Louis, so I don't want to speculate too much. I'm sure everything's fine between them. But anyway, I digress. Back to the interview, Harry said, I do like getting up early. I'd say it's rare for me. I'm still in bed at 8 a.m. Louis posting a selfie with a bedhead at 10 a.m. calling it early morning. Oh my god. I love science. The fact that Harry doesn't sleep past 8 a.m., like he's probably up at 7, and then Louis wakes up at 10 a.m. and he's like, oh, it's early. By the way, I identify with Louis. I'm a person who wakes up late. There's no fucking way you're gonna get me up before 8 o'clock every day. That's bullshit. I'm forced to wake up at that time for class. If I have a free day, there's no way I'm waking up at that time. So the fact that Harry's doing that by choice, that's dedication. But I can just imagine that, like if Harry and Louis are sleeping in the same bed, Harry gets up early, Louis sleeps until 10, Harry's making him breakfast and he gets everything clean in the house because Harry's like the maid, the mom of the house. I can see it. I am seeing their domestic life right now. And then here's a summary post. This says, to sum things up, Harry ate 7 bananas and puked it out before a show. He has a collar in his bag. He would be Catwoman if he were a superhero. He can't pronounce placenta. Nana vibes. Harry's posh accent deserves a Grammy. He dragged Comic Sans and his mom. Chris Martin will literally drop everything to run the Harry Styles Club. Sprouts are the new kale, and Obama is real. Yes, I mentioned Obama in my last video. It's real. So basically, if you guys haven't heard all of Harry's phone interviews, that's basically what happened. Also, you guys can look at my past few videos because I read a lot of things there as well. And now on to Harry pictures. Here are some recent pictures of Harry in London. And oh my fucking god, look at his outfit. Look at his fucking quiff. 2013 Harry, rise, bitch. Like literally, he is not aging. He looks exactly like 2013. If someone didn't tell me what date this was from, I would think this is an old ass picture. Harry looks so good from his head to his toes. And now my last topic, Louis and Eleanor. So not only did we get recent pictures of Harry, but we got recent pictures of Louis. And let me just tell you, these recent pictures of Louis surfaced around the same time Harry's did. And this always happens. I have no idea why this happens. Why are Louis and Harry pictures always surface around the same day, if not a day after? But anyway, so let's look at some bullshit. So obviously, as you can see by these pictures, this is Louis and Eleanor walking around, and people were saying that they went into shops, but they didn't walk out with any bags, so it's kind of weird how they went shopping, but didn't buy anything. Not that you need to, but it almost seems like it's more of a stunt because you just want to be seen. You're not actually doing anything because she's your beard. Listen, if I'm going to beard for somebody, I would at least like to do something fun. I bet the whole time Louis was just talking about Harry, and I would love that, but I think Eleanor was pissed. She looked annoyed in the photos. And here is a fan example of that. So Louis is like, so as I was saying, did you download and stream and buy Sign of the Times? Eleanor's like, is this motherfucker gonna talk about Harry all day? Literally, I don't even care. I'm sure that happened. The way Louis fucking looks in these photos, he's so cute, daddy as fuck, but I don't see anything with Louis and Eleanor. I don't see a spark. I don't see a relationship. I see a gay man walking with his beard, or his best friend. Eleanor looks like his bestie. And I know it's hard to tell by a photo, but we've been getting series of photos from this year, and also when they were dating before, back in like 2013, 14, I don't know. And guys, you know what's also funny? Whenever Louis is going on these dates or outings with his beards, it's always to fucking Starbucks. Like, look, whether she's your friend or not, can you please switch it up? If I always went to Starbucks with the same person, I would get bored. Like, if you're gonna get coffee, go to Dunkin' Donuts. Like, seriously. Like, no, I'm not throwing shade at Starbucks. All I'm saying is that you need to switch it up a little bit. Like, Louis, why always Starbucks? Do you have, like, a deal with them or something? Is this hashtag spons? Does Eleanor work for Starbucks? Is that, like, her hidden trade? Because I have no idea what the fuck Eleanor does, so if you were to ask me, I would actually think that she's the manager of Starbucks. Like, she is their logo. She is their mascot. And Louis is there helping her promote it. And you know what's also cringy? Louis and Eleanor are always matching. Like, what is up with that? You're looking like siblings. Even if they weren't matching, their faces look exactly the same. They look related. So this says, Louis and Eleanor were spotted walking hand in hand. And it says, they weren't hand in hand, but they were matching head to toe. Now that's hilarious. I said this in my last video, but the fact that they showed up to the door with matching outfits and there was a pap right there, that just proves that that's probably Louis' public house, because number one, I doubt Louis orders things to his private house. He doesn't want his address to be leaked. So the fact that there was a pap right outside his house and Eleanor came to the door with them, they looked all nice, they had matching outfits, and he was getting something delivered, that's obviously a public house, and that was obviously, they were meant to be seen. That was not like a normal type of thing. That was totally staged. This says, someone tell Louis he's not filming The Office, so he's not supposed to look straight into the camera. Yeah, if you guys look at all these photos, photos, Louis is always looking at the camera like he knows where it is. It's like, hey camera, no, I'm right here. Can you please get me and Eleanor in it because we need to show that we're dating. And then there was some more speculation of the photos. So this person says, someone pointed out they have no shopping bags and they're not holding anything they could have bought. Have you honestly ever gone to a grocery store and not bought anything? Like, who the hell is like, hey babe, let's go to the grocery store together just for fun and not buy anything? Like, that makes no sense. If you're gonna do that, go to Target or somewhere. Oh, I felt the shade at Target. Yeah, so in most of the photos, you can see that Louis and Eleanor have like no bags, even though they're going into different shops. But then we have this photo and you can see Louis carrying a bag. So it looks like they did buy something. But if you're asking me, I think the main purpose they went out was to be seen. This also says, so I knew they went to Starbucks yesterday because Louis signed something for a fan there, but Eleanor is in completely different pants. Her shoes decided to fit her right. Her hair and outfit is completely different. So I'm confused. They went to Melrose and went grocery shopping, then drove back to the stunt house so Eleanor could get changed, and then they go back in Melrose, all while the stalkers who saw them yesterday said they wanted privacy and looked like they were having a good time. If this was a different day, Louis would be in different clothes, so I'm fucking confused as fuck. I'm not really too sure about all of that, but I did notice in some of the pictures Eleanor's hair is a little different in her clothes, but Louis doesn't look any different. I don't know, the whole thing is so shady. And guys, look at this. This says Louis and Eleanor got papped in the exact same place where Louis and Danielle got papped last year on February. It says Louis and Danielle twice, but I think they met Louis and Eleanor. Louis, if you're gonna be doing these stunts, you gotta make it convincing. Don't take a different beard to the same exact place like it's obvious. Louis is so done, he's not even trying anymore, and to be honest, I feel bad for him. I already said this on Twitter, but if Louis really did have a baby to take care of, I doubt he'd be with another girl, like, because that makes it so much more confusing. You would think he would just try to stay single for a little bit, like, okay, whether you were with Danielle or not, end it with her, stay single, and just focus on yourself and your kid, if it even is your kid. Just focus on your music. I don't get why in his free time he's spending time with Eleanor going to Starbucks. Like, Louis, in your free time, you should be spending it with Freddie, because as a musician, you have a very busy life and you have to really manage your time. You only have some precious moments that you have with your son. It makes no sense. He's not spending his time wisely, because guess what? Soon, Louis is going to be really busy with his music and promoting and stuff, and then he won't have any time to spend with Freddie. But right now, Louis does have free time, and we're seeing that because he's with Eleanor. If I were him, I would take a break from the whole dating life and just focus on my music and the supposed kid. Anyway guys, sorry I rambled a lot, but anyway, leave all your thoughts down below, and like always, I make a video whenever I want, so like and subscribe. All my social media is down in the description, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
My honey bun, sugar plum, pumpy umby umpkin, you're my sweetie pie.